Well, not a very strong day for the markets there. Let's start with another asset class, and the equities also seem to be declining at this point in time. Remember, we did see some support coming in the Asian markets when the Indian markets opened, but at this point in time, the Nifty and the Sensex both have slipped slightly on the lower side. Marginal decline coming in for the Nifty, but 5111 is how that one is holding, and ditto for the Sensex, some 20 to 30 points on the lower side. So red is how it's trading for the equity markets right now. And it is quite jittery for the commodity markets as well. Remember, we have seen the Brent crude prices gain up slightly. That one is holding at $90 on the higher side. But it's the NYMEX crude which continues to supply. Bit of a support coming in for the precious metals though. That is flight to safety, especially for the gold prices. Can't say the same about base metals because those have also declined at this point in time. And all of that ahead of the EU summit that starts on day after next. And markets are expecting some kind of an announcement coming in from that one. How do you trade all of those commodities ahead of that? Let's go across to Chirag Commodities. He's technical analyst, AskChirag.com, and he joins us here in our studios. Chirag, hi, welcome to the show. Let's start with crude first and the kind of choppiness that you have seen onto that one. What kind of trades are you taking in today?
See, after the large sell-off on crude, I'm seeing that some positive divergence is coming on the daily charts. It is starting to build up some small momentum on the upside. So till the time NYMEX crude is holding above $78, a small pullback till $82 or even $84 cannot be ruled out. So on MCX, I would be looking at to buy on dips around at 4500 with stops below 4432 for an upside target of 4750 in the short term.
Chirag, how would you look at the gold and silver prices? Though silver, of course, seems to be following gold right now, but the kind of bit of flight of safety that we have seen into this space, do you think it can sustain the day?
I think so. Gold would continue to sustain. It has got a strong support at $1550 on the COMEX. Unless and until that is not breached on closing basis, I am not expecting any weakness coming on to the gold side. One can look to buy on MCX on small dip to 30,000 levels with a stop below 29,850 for immediate target of 30,460. If we have a weekly close about 30,460, 32,000 also cannot be ruled out on MCX.
How would you look at the Indian markets? Because of course, while you are giving those levels there, the rupee has been very, very volatile. So keeping that in mind, how are you trading the Indian markets?
The Indian markets, as I said before, we can look to buy dips. You asked me about rupee or gold?
Asked about rupee.
Rupee. Currency has got a resistance at 57.38. If that is taken out, short covering can take it around at 58.60 or 59 in the short to medium term. The trend would reverse if we have a close below 56. Till that time, consolidation would carry on between 56 and 57.38. 57.38 taken out, 59 or 60 cannot be ruled out.
Chirag, while you do have a buy call coming in case of the gold prices there, how have you seen the silver? Because while we've seen $29 continue as a resistance, 27 has held on as a support as well. So is this $2 of a range you see going forward as well?
Yes, silver would continue to trade in that range. On the downside, 26.80 is acting as a good support, and on the upside, we are seeing supply coming in at 29.60. I think so. After some consolidation, silver will break out on the upside. Once we have a weekly close about $29 and upside move till $32 cannot be ruled out on silver.
Chirag, how about the base metal space? Because on one side, we did see some support coming in because of the US home sales data. That one is at a 2-year highs. But apart from that, there's no real demand coming in from China. The data has been consistently weak. That has come in from Eurozone or from China in that case. So how much of a further pressure are you expecting, especially for copper?
See, after the home sales data, that data is supporting the US dollar. US dollar index has started to move up again, which is putting again pressure on the LME prices of copper. So I would be looking to sell copper on any rise to 418, 419 zone with the stops above 422 for a downside target for 407.
While copper prices are 13% down in this quarter, we haven't seen other metals also do well for themselves. And Chirag, how about the aluminum prices? Because while it has taken a bit of a support in the recent days, because we have seen a lot of mines and smelters shut down, especially in China, do you think the current levels might see some support, especially because we are trading very near to cost of production now?
See, if we look at the copper charts for the past 3 months, it was holding out strong above the levels of 106, 107. But now that looks that it was a distribution pattern which was going on. Copper is headed lower. If it breaks 103 on the MCX, it could even slide down till 98. So the strategy would be to sell it on any rise to 104, 104.50, which stops above 106 for first target of downside 101. If that's taken out, 98 also cannot be ruled out.
Chirag, since you are bearish on copper and aluminum, do you think that's the fate for the rest of the base metals as well as a sector as a whole, or do you see some bright spot there?
Nickel is the only one which is holding out strong. Actually, it's been trading in a small range. 905, 910 on the downside is giving good support, with resistance coming on the upside at 955, 960. So any dips to 915, 914 levels would be a good fight for nickel, with stop loss below 904 for an upside target of 950 again.
If we can get that chart back on our screens where we have seen the quarterly performance of most of those commodities, Chirag, the crude prices have declined the most, 23% down in this quarter. The copper prices are down 13%, gold has gone down by nearly 6%. Do you see the same scenario going forward in the coming quarter as well, or would you say that some support could be coming in, especially for the energy space after so much of declines?
Yes, energy space, I think so. There should be a good bounce back coming up onto the crude oil prices. It is quite highly oversold. Even natural gas prices are moving up strong. So that should support crude oil in the short term. Once it takes out again $80, which is immediate resistance, a pullback till 82 or 84 cannot be ruled out on crude.